Noodles. Okay, there we go. Fred, turn my sound on. Something that Noodles was discussing earlier, and I didn't have my other intro for the live streams or videos I don't have in my phone, so that's why I used the main show intro. Let me just make sure my sound's working. It is good, good, good. That's a step in the right direction. Okay, so we're gonna talk about this, because I wanted to explain it. Some of my concerns. Let's start with reality. A lot of the moving decisions we're gonna make are based on anywhere, not just one move to one place or another place. Okay, so it don't matter if you go to Paducah or do you go to Noodles' home or some other place. It's pretty much the same basic process. The first thing is that you have to remember I got a lot of stuff. And we need to pack it, catalog it. Some of it can clearly end up in the dumpster. Some of it can stay here behind. Then, yeah, the elephant in the room. Okay, not the elephant, but the cat. Yeah, let me just make sure I'm not going my coffee rusty. Yes, the cat. Mr. Meow Meow. He is, of course, we have to figure out how we're going to get him from point A to point B to point C. C might be, what happens if it doesn't work with point A to point B? When I took on the responsibility of having any pets, one of the most important things I made it very clear is that I would be there to give him his forever home. And he has been. That applies to all my cats, every one of them. So, yes, I do want to make sure that his needs are provided for as well. So, I have to figure out that you got to catalog, pack, store, ship all your stuff and the cat and me. That's a lot of stuff to do. And right now we're getting into early November and we might be seeing snow within 2 weeks. Okay. That means that we need to consider that. The weather is going to be a very hard time to move in November. I'm not exactly like I was just fresh out of college anymore. I have a lot of stuff in my house. And so we need to plan that. I've also had bad situations with roommates in the past where it didn't work out. There was a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety for me and them. Some of the roommates were irresponsible and didn't help out at all. And they ended up being stuck taking care of the whole enchilada. Dory did help some. Ed didn't help at all. There was a girl I was living in stores named Tamara. She was okay, but she, didn't get along particularly well. We kind of did, but she had differing viewpoints on a lot of things. And the difference was I was the one who had the keys to the house, so to speak. Okay, I wasn't the one that was likely to end up in the street because my name was on the rental agreement with the landlord. So I'm very cautious about that because I don't want to end up being homeless. So I try to prepare as best I can. Okay. And the other thing is too is, uh, well, Noodles may have experience with two other men in his home. Um, is he really really ready to do it with a fourth person? Um, it's a lot of responsibility for him too, because now he has to realize that, unlike the other two guys, or at least one of the two guys, I don't know if they both have cars, but let's say they don't. Let's say two of them do. Him and another guy has car. I don't have a car, and I don't have that e-trike either. Okay, now I don't know what New Jersey's transportation rules are regarding electric e-trikes and driver's license requirements. Okay, so I don't have information on that. So that means that not only would we have to transfer my food stamps over, my Medicaid over. So we would have to do all that as well. In other words, plus, as I said, packing my stuff, which is a lot of stuff. We have things in closets that we have to sort through, catalog, decide what to keep, toss, and sell. I say sell because some of the stuff could easily have a tax sale. But no one's going to want to buy stuff at a tax sale in the middle of winter. Okay? Tax sales are in the spring, summer, so not winter time. Likewise, he has a full basement of stuff too. So he has to do the same thing. He's going to have to figure out what to do with all his stuff in his basement for me to move in there. So it's not exactly like, okay, Michele, it's all set. You can move in, then he realizes after I sign a rental agreement with him to make sure that there's a legally binding agreement, all of a sudden, he realizes he has no place to put my stuff because his stuff is still in the basement. That's going to put a lot of stress on him. I don't know what he's going to do with all that if I was to say yes. Next thing is, does he only have one bathroom? Or is there a half bath downstairs in the rec area? That we don't know about that. I know he has a laundry facility down there. But is there a half bath? Is there a tub? Is there a shower besides one upstairs? Now, I'm going to be honest. I really, really would like to have access to my own bathroom, because I got 3 men upstairs. They're going to pretty much be doing what they're going to do. And so that means that if there's only one bathroom, that means that in the morning when everybody gets up, there's going to be a traffic jam between everybody going in and go to the bathroom. Okay. What I'm also concerned about is Mr. Cat here, because I don't know if his dogs plural, are necessarily going to get along with Rusty. I don't want to see Rusty get stressed or hurt. I don't want to see that happen. I think I see what he wants to do it for. There's a couple reasons. So let me explain what I think it is. So, if I'm wrong, forgive me. If I'm right, forgive me. Okay? His situation right now is he wants to grow his channel. Okay? He wants to see me grow my channel. But he realizes, in all reality, it takes 2 hours to get to Winston from where he lives. It's a long drive. Okay? And so he's saying is, if Michele and I could do more things together, maybe I can have her be more part of my show, and have her part of my platform, and then we could maybe help her channel grow too. And that sounds wonderful. But the sad truth is the moving is not going to be something you can do in a weekend. It's just not going to happen. I talked to one person, and she said, well, why don't you stay with him for a week? You and the cat. Me and the cat. I don't know if that's gonna work. I'm sorry. It's true. I don't know if that's gonna work. Oh, she's over here, so I'm gonna switch this game up here now. Alright, a minute. So I don't know if that's gonna work either. Okay? It could work. And then of course, another thing I'm gonna need to do is, like I said, besides transferring the food stamps over, if we decide to do this, we also have to deal with another move factor. I get my hair done. I need to get a new medical doctor. I'm going to have to get a new dentist, a new optometrist, a new hearing specialist as well if it was to be a permanent move. That's something that happens with any move. That's not just we're moving with him. That would happen in Paducah as well. Finding available doctors that would be willing to take me on as a patient. And a hair salon that is able to keep maintaining my hair. Now, I know my hair is kind of really fine gossamer shit. That's like really, really rips out really easy because it's really, really delicate, very fine. It's like cotton ball hair. It's strong for its diameter or its tensile strength, but it is really delicate, and you can't just pour a whole head of bleach on it, because if you do, you'll just ruin it. It takes special care to do. So yeah, there is that. So getting medical doctors and stuff set up, get the food stamps transferred over. I would have to turn in my old state ID for a new ID for the state of New Jersey. I just checked the expiration date on it. It's 2030. So I would have to get a new ID. Then I have to get in contact with the New Jersey Commission for the Blind to make sure to find out available programs available to me through the state of New Jersey. I would have to do this. I was going to go to Paducah too. So these are all things you have to do no matter where you go. And Social Security has to be informed of the move so that they know that you are still paying rent. Even though I'm not on SSI, I'm on SSDI. I still have to let them know where I'm moving to so I can make sure that my check will continue to be deposited in the bank. Now, obviously, I can keep my existing bank. I do not necessarily need to move my bank over right away. The bank eventually would be moved over to another state because wherever I state I live in, so I can get at it easier. So maybe, for example, I might move it to maybe I don't know, maybe another local bank account, maybe a Bank of America, maybe a Wells Fargo, maybe some local credit union. But those are things that you have to do. So it's not something you can just do it in a week and then be here, here this week and in New Jersey permanently next week. It doesn't work that way because there's a lot of steps. This is one of the reasons why if I was going to move to Paducah, I was going to do it in the spring because there's just a lot of stuff to do. And a tax sale and getting transportation to get things put into the dump and bring it to e-waste. We got a lot of electronics that can go to e-waste, tag sales, things like that. Flea markets, maybe. I don't know. I know a lot of stuff sell at a flea market. But these are things I have to do. And then, of course, another thing he needs to do. Let's talk about his side. Because there is things he has to do. Regardless, whoever lives with him. Number one, he showed me the basement before. And it is a full rec room down there, which means that's great. It's a room, okay? Normally you might play a little table tennis, maybe if you have a billiards table or something like that, okay? Basically, the house is built in 1962, so which means it's pretty much has a standard 1962 rec room, which doesn't bother me. The other thing is that what does bother me is he has a lot of stuff in there. It is from prior roommates. And so he has the same problem. How am I going to do with all this stuff? If I have her moving in here, she's going to have all her own stuff. I got to put my stuff somewhere. Or he's going to have a tag sale too. He's going to have to. If the people that he's holding the stuff for doesn't arrange to come by and pick it up, technically, I believe by now, by law, he has the legal right to throw the stuff in the tip. He doesn't have to keep it indefinitely. Okay? So these are valid issues that need to be addressed. It just does. You can't say it's unreasonable. It has to be done. Okay? Then, since I know his roommates, and his roommates know me, I know the doctor, I know John. Sometimes I forgot what the doctor looked like. But I do remember John, the old man John, and the cat. He has a cat, too. Which is another thing. Is this cat going to like my cat? Rusty is the alpha Tom. He's fixed, but that doesn't mean that he still doesn't like being the top cat. He's the alpha. And I'm sure that John's cat is an alpha too, because he's probably used to being home by himself, dealing with two dogs. And Rusty is not going to be the kind of cat you can kind of keep cordoned into a small part of the house. He's a tourist cat, okay? He likes to, enjoy the finer cat life things, going and looking out for the kitties, He still has desires. Because he's an old tongue cat, So they have to keep that in mind. And so this is something that is going to take care of, needs to be done. Also for DSS, in Section 8, or not in Section 8. Oh, but that could be if I reapplied in Section 8 in New Jersey. Good luck. That could have been a possibility too. Definitely for the food stamps, when I close my case here in Winston, Connecticut, I got to open my food stamp case in New Jersey. Is I need a copy of the lease. I have forms for leases. I can write a lease. I can put him on as my landlord. Okay. Which keeps it nice and legal. So, which gives me protection. We can just renew the lease every year. Because the last thing I want to do is get into a situation where it's month to month, and then he and I have a falling out, and the next thing you know, he tells me to pack my shit and leave, and then realize I have no place to go. That's what scares me so much. I know deep down everybody says Noodles is not likely to throw you out in the street. Honestly, I have no idea if he would or not. And that's what scares me. Noodles has got dreams, like he said today. He said, I have passions. I want to grow my channel. He said, I want to move to the next level of success. And I understand that. But we work together as a team. Sometimes his humor is a little bit dry, like a martini. I don't always get along with his humor. Maybe because I'm maybe I have my sense of humor is part of the problem. I'm not. I'm like I'm like I'm like I'm like I'm like a Vulcan. Okay, I mean a lot of Virgos are, right. We look at things like some of us can joke a little bit. I mean, I'm not totally joke free. I can joke around a little bit, but um, I just want to plan things proper so that there's no sudden surprises. Um, I don't know what to expect. We have discussed this before. This is not the first time we have talked about this. And it never happened because there was always those hanging chads, if you will. Like, the fact is that he needs to make sure that the basement would be ready for me to move into. Now, I don't really want to live in a basement. I rather have had upstairs, But then again, you talk about weird. A woman with 3 men roommates. It's gonna be a bit of a challenge. Okay, it's doable, but it's gonna be a challenge. So I'm not against the idea, but it's gonna take time to plan this. You got to be sure, get everything, dot your I's, cross your T's. Would my studio fit in this basement? How big is the basement? I'll think about that for a minute. How big is the basement? Now, I know the garage is underneath his bedroom. I know that for a fact. But could there be a separate bedroom from the studio? I can think of 2 reasons why I would want that. Number one, maybe I might want to do something in the bedroom and not have the cat keep coming in and interrupting me. Or, maybe he wants to do something in my studio and I want to sleep. Because if you don't think he's going to want to go ahead and realize he's got a complete setup with a full Mac, multiple cameras, 2 monitors, a complete sound system, and you don't think he's going to want to be able to use all these things, you're wrong. He probably will. The internet. Yeah, the internet is kind of nice. So let's talk about that. Oh, that's really kind of separate. I'm going to throw it there anyway. I'm a T-Mobile customer. I'm also a Frontier customer. Now, Frontier's no problem. So I want to take my internet with me because I already have it. But I want to keep a wired Ethernet connection, not necessarily Wi-Fi. Right now, this video is probably going to be going out on Wi-Fi, only because sometimes my router has problems and it will sometimes drop the ball. And don't ask me why. Sometimes the router, the T-Mobile, will sometimes drop out, and then the Frontier kicks in. And then for streaming, all of a sudden my internet is going from hero to zero in less than 10 seconds, right? Usually it recovers pretty quick, but every so often it will do that, and it's not as much as you may think. Okay? Now, so yeah, there's a reason I want to do that. Phone system. This could be something that could be beneficial for him, too. Although he might understand why would they need a phone system? Well, you never know. Okay, let's just throw this out there just for a second. I don't know if he has any phone jacks in his apartment, his house, and if he does, if they're home run back to a central demarcation point where I could put a 66 punch down block. But let's say he did. Let's say that the phone system was redone so everything is home run to a central demarcation point in the basement. Every phone room in his home can have a standard analog phone. So the doctor, John, him, kitchen, laundry room, my section of the apartment all would have a telephone extension. Using something called clear to sell to what is that? So yeah, I think it's sell to land or something. Which is an adapter that lets you connect your cell phone by Bluetooth into a home phone line. Then we could basically, when he's home, his phone will Bluetooth into his phone line. So that when his phone rings, we can set it up so that it goes directly to his phone in his room and it will ring. Yeah, that's an idea. That's kind of optional. That's kind of like frosting on the cake. We haven't even made the sponge yet, and we're talking about frosting on the cake. So I guess that's where we got it. First of all, let's finish about making the sponge, okay? So the first thing, we have to move all this stuff out. He has to clear out his basement. He has to put this stuff somewhere. I'm going to probably need more room than he has, which means I'm going to have to rent a storage bin because this may be too much stuff then, and we need to go rent a local storage bin, a local stop and lock, so that we can put things away. Because not everything is going to fit in his basement. Guaranteed, not everything will fit in his basement. So that would have to be dealt with. Okay. I'm not against the idea, but I just hope that he understands that there are things that we need to do, and it's not something we can do in a weekend, and it's going to take a while to get everything done. This is why I was going to start doing it in the spring of 2026, realizing that we were already, at the time I talked about Paducah, it was already August. And that's still true. I mean, doesn't matter if it's Paducah, New Jersey. It's the same deal. Okay? It's still going to take time. So, and he would have to come up here and stay a weekend to help me move stuff from all the closets to the appropriate keep, toss, sell piles. And then we'd have to go down to the container store, pick up some storage containers to put things into those containers and put them in the appropriate places labeled so they'll be nice and tidy so that we know where to go and put them away. That's not a minor detail. I still haven't gotten into the closet behind my closet here. That's what I'm talking about. This closet here. Yeah, that closet. I haven't even gotten back in there yet, again. Since last time me and Company Flu opened that closet together. We'll have to go back in there again, sort through it out. Plus, we have the closet behind there in that little room there to go through. And we have the bedroom closet to go through. And we have the pantry closet to go through. And we have the storage bin outside to go through. All of that stuff has to be sorted. So it's a lot of stuff. And it's going to definitely take a weekend, at the very least, to begin to sort through it all. So, I just wanted to explain to you that I'm not against the idea, but I'm not exactly totally all on board either because of the requirements and the steps that we have to do. But I wanted to at least take the time to explain my concerns. And that's the moving part. What about the emotional part? Well, we still don't know how well on a long-term basis when we work together in the same place. We have never been together more than 2 days. And so I don't know if we're going to have any problems or not. So those are things that I need to figure out. All right, guys. So for now, I thought I would take the time to explain it to you and just say that I hope that you will keep that in mind. And as I said, I don't have an outro or intro that's appropriate for this kind of videos, but because I'm just doing it with the OBS recording. But I figure at least it's better to do it this way. Oh, by the way, this morning's stream that kind of got cut off in the last 5 minutes. You can catch the whole thing in one piece in Kick, Twitch, and Rumble. They're not in pieces there. It's something that YouTube messed up on. I don't know why. But for now, that's it. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Michele, Marie, and Lumi, I will always be there for you. Michele, never stop believing in yourself. Go out there and show the world what you can do. Go kick some ass and have a good time doing it. I love both of you so much. I love how far you have come on YouTube.
In the summer.